How about I just not talk for this recording?
No, please do. Please do. Just look at me sassily. Just give me your sassy face. By the way, I love this. Is this your September look?
September?
Yeah, because it's September. You know that, right?
Yeah.
We're heading into this change of the seasons.
We are, but this is my I want to wear all the crazy clothes I bought in quarantine on the pop podcast recording.
But I think you look amazing. Like you're like but it reminds me there's something very seasonal about it. Like something like that is a celebratory of the Halloween season that we're about to enter.
Interesting. Yes.
You don't think so? Listeners, if you're not watching the vidcast, oh my God, it's a crop top. Oh my God. Guys, you might be listening to this on a normal podcast app, and if you are, great, love you, happy to have you. Do yourself a favor, go to our Critical Crop Top YouTube channel just to check out Sarah's outfit, because it is so adorable.
It's like a dancer or something, like one of those.
You're like a flamenco dancer, but
yeah.
It's like black and white, and you have like this black and white makeup look. It's just like I'm in love with it.
Thank you.
So here we are on our first episode. Well, it's not our first episode, but it's like our first real
episode.
Yes, this is our first real episode where we're really, really gonna talk about a movie.
We actually watched something.
We watched something, and not for the other podcast, for this podcast.
And we watched something that made it onto the list of worst films ever made. I looked it up.
It won many awards, in fact, for many things that are bad about it. So we're going to be talking about That's My Boy, starring Andy Samberg and Adam Sandler. In a moment. A few things before we get into that. I know this was not scheduled to be discussed, but I have some news topics. I thought maybe I'd like to share some news.
Sure.
Can I do that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I follow our hang on. Let me get my Twitter up here. I follow our favorite dudes on Twitter. Well, I don't follow them because Adam Driver doesn't have Twitter. Andy Samberg does, but he's never on there. But I follow the many fan accounts. And if you're a fan account and you want me to follow you, like we will. Like we're looking for all the hot goss. We're looking for all the
fuck out of you.
We will follow the fuck out of you. I'll give this handle at the end of the episode as well, but we're at Adam Andy Pod. So just, follow us. We'll follow you back. So I follow fan accounts and stuff, and I've got a couple of news items. First of all, a couple Adam Driver projects that are coming up that we can get excited about. So first of all, this isn't super new, but about a week or two ago, it was released that Adam Driver is going to be playing Maurizio Gucci opposite Lady Gaga, who's going to be playing Patrizia. I'm going to butcher this name, Patrizia Reggiani, in the film Gucci.
Okay.
Patrizia Reggiani was tried and convicted of plotting her husband's assassination in 1995. So we're getting Adam and Gaga together wearing Gucci in 1995.
So wait, there was an attempted assassination on
apparently
of Gucci?
This Gucci? How many Guccis are there? I don't know all my Guccis.
Wasn't there an assassination of Versace as well?
Yes. So I guess they must be talking about the Gucci, right? I'll be honest with you guys. I'm not a fashion icon.
Why are Italian fashion icons being assassinated?
I don't know. It obviously is some kind of plot. But anyway, Gaga and Adam Driver, like, how excited are you?
Really excited.
Because I'm very excited. So that was one of the pieces of news I wanted to share. Anything else? Do you want to respond to that? I wanted to give you a moment to respond.
Like, the energy between them must be explosive.
I don't think it'll be able to be contained within a single, within a film frame.
No, I can't even imagine it. If once one of them starts yelling, the other one starts yelling. Like, it's
going to be so much
over.
yelling.
so much really
So
intense
much
yelling.
intense yelling. And crying.
Yes.
There's going to be yelling and crying, and I'm so here for it. And 1995 high fashion.
Oh my gosh. Oh
Can
my
you
gosh.
imagine?
Wow.
I'm super thrilled about that. So that news came out recently, and then another project. This news of this came out this week. So Adam Driver has signed on to a project. Oh, and sorry, Ridley. I believe Ridley Scott is directing the Gucci thing.
Okay.
So he also signed on to a project that's being written and directed by the writers of A Quiet Place, produced by Sam Raimi.
Okay.
And it's called 95. It's a science fiction piece. The synopsis: an astronaut crash lands on a mysterious planet only to discover he's not alone. Driver will play an opioid addict who has become a hopeless shadow of his her former self. The only other person to emerge from the crash is April, a 9-year-old girl who speaks a different language. And then they have to work together to survive.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
A 9-year-old girl speaks a different language.
It's a sci-fi.
Nice.
So we're getting Adam in a sci-fi movie. The Quiet Place writers, or A Quiet Place. Did I say The Quiet Place? A Quiet Place. Which is it? What is the
Didn't
title?
John Krasinski
He directed the second one.
Did he co-write the first one?
Maybe. I don't know, but look it up.
Look,
all I know is it's been all over Twitter that the writers of The Quiet Place are directing this movie. I think John Krasinski directed the second film. I think he maybe produced it.
John Krasinski, Brian Wood, Scott Beck.
Okay, well, there you go. There were 3 people. You can't have a Hollywood script unless 3 to 5 people have written it. That's the rule.
Yeah. Who wrote Quiet Place 2? John Krasinski. Oh, okay, so he wrote Quiet Place 2 by himself.
Oh, okay.
I love John Krasinski. I could do a podcast about him, to be honest with you.
It. We have 2 podcasts already. Stop it. What would we call it? What would we call
it? John Krasinski and no, it's just him. Just him.
So it would be called the Just John podcast, obviously.
The Just John podcast.
Stop it.
Please stop. No, we're not.
Don't make me. Not. Okay.
5 years from now, if we still want to do it,
right. We'll put it in the back of our minds. Okay. We'll just stock it away. Okay. So that's some Adam news. Next news I have is some Andy Samberg news. Brooklyn Nine-Nine is coming back. And it's coming to the streaming platform Peacock TV. So it's NBC's streaming platform. So I guess it's going away from Hulu, which is where it's been. Like, I think they were on... Look, okay, so here's the history of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I'm sure you're all interested. Brooklyn Nine-Nine pilot was developed by NBC. Was not picked up by NBC. Fox took it over. It was on at Fox for 4 seasons or something. Then Fox canceled it. NBC picked it back up. NBC canceled it. Hulu picked it up. Now it's back at NBC as an NBC's streaming form. I know.
Why do people not want this show?
I don't know, but it is the little show that keeps on ticking, and I love it. I mean, I know, look, there's a lot of controversy here because I think it's difficult for people to sympathize with characters in law enforcement right now for very good reason. Mm-hmm. And I'm interested to see how they address that. That said, Brooklyn Nine-Nine has been one of my favorite shows for a long time, and so I'm conflicted. It's we have a long history of portraying law enforcement in a certain way in our media and not being truthful about all sides of it. So I don't know how that's going to affect the new Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but I know the writers have tried to tackle racial profiling on their show before, which was a very good episode about Terry Cruz's character getting racially profiled in his own neighborhood. So we'll see, but I love Jake Peralta and all the gang, and so I'm happy for them that their show is getting another life at NBC's Peacock. Straight Peacock.
Yikes.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say it so aggressively. What are the odds that we would both sip at the same time? Is that acceptable podcast etiquette?
I think
Did you
so.
see we both sipped our drinks at the same time?
I did not see you. No.
I didn't take my eyes off you for a second.
Ooh, okay. Sorry.
So that's all my news.
All right.
Any thoughts?
I love that. I mean, I'm still confused why it bounced around so much, but
yeah. Comedies are having a hard time right now. I think in syndication.
Comedies.
Yeah, comedies are having a hard time staying afloat. It seems like.
Seems crazy. I love comedies.
I do too. But the change in media consumption has not been good to the typical sitcom format. Welcome to the Adam and Andy podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Nicole.
I'm your other host, Sarah.
And this is a show where we watch nothing but Adam Driver and Andy Samberg movies. Because we love them. And
we love them.
And quarantine is thirsty.
It is.
It's a fact. So not to continue to avoid the main topic of this week, which is That's My Boy. But I do have a bit of an oopsie corner.
Oopsie.
So in our last episode, the first episode where we talked about this, why we were starting this podcast, we erroneously stated that Adam and his lovely wife Joanne went to, I believe it was Tisch, right?
They actually went to Juilliard.
Yes, they went to Juilliard. So I just wanted, since we pride ourselves on our journalistic integrity.
Yes.
I just wanted to make
Why
sure.
did we say that? Was that me?
I couldn't remember because my brain is old, and then you said Tisch and I was like, that sounds right.
I thought it was Tisch, and then I looked it up today and it was Juilliard.
So I just wanted to just give a little oopsie there. Oopsies are going to happen from time to time. They will. We're just making it up as we go along. We're fans, but we are imperfect fans. Imperfect. Speaking of imperfect, shall we talk about this movie?
Holy shit. That's my boy.
That's my boy. 2012, I think. I didn't write down a whole lot of facts about this movie, I'll be honest. Starring Andy Samberg, our boy Andy Samberg, and Adam Sandler. So it was an Adam and Andy
Adam Sandler.
Movie. Adam Sandler, yes.
The wrong Adam, yes.
The wrong Adam. The Adam, you pick that Adam off the shelf, and then you go, you know what? That's the wrong Adam, and you put that Adam back.
Exactly what I meant. Yes. You read my mind.
Sarah.
Yes.
This movie is aggressively terrible.
Aggressively.
I mean,
I came downstairs after I saw it, and I told my parents, I was like, this movie is trash.
It's trash. This movie is trash. Oh, God. I was dreading it, and rightfully so. My husband watched this movie with me, and I don't think he loves me anymore. He was like, I think this movie is supposed to appeal to me, but it's so revolting.
It's wrong. It's revolting. That's a good word for it. It's wrong. Like,
who's this movie for? Who is this movie for, Sarah? Who is this movie for?
14-year-old boys?
Did even 14-year-old boys like this movie? I
don't think so. No. Okay, this has everything, Nicole.
This has everything that is terrible.
Pedophilia.
Right out of the gate.
Yeah, I guess we should start with there. Right out of the gate.
And I wrote down my 5 things dutifully. I wrote down my 5 things.
I took a bunch of notes.
Pedophilia. Right out of the gate. Like, just laying it all out, and they're like, this is a movie where pedophilia and grooming and molestation of 12-year-old boys is celebrated.
Is he 12?
He's 12!
I thought he was 14. Oh, no.
He's in 7th grade.
No.
7th grade. So this movie, my friends, if you didn't watch it, and if you did, don't blame me. I didn't tell you had to watch this movie. This movie starts with Adam Sandler, who it grows up to be Adam Sandler, his character. Flashback to the 80s. Young Donnie Berger.
12, apparently.
12.
Not even 14, 12.
Hitting on his, I don't know what the fuck she teaches, played by Susan Sarandon's daughter, by the way.
Daughter? What?
Yep.
Wow. Interesting. She doesn't look like her.
Well, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on this, but basically the 12-year-old and the teacher begin having sex, and their illicit sexual whatever you want to call it. I can't even call it an affair. I won't even dignify it with that. The molestation of this young boy leads to the birth of Andy Samberg's character, Han Solo Burger. And I said, I just said that out loud.
Burger.
Okay, listen, I did not care for this motion picture, but I will say this. Andy Samberg, I hope they had a physical therapist on the set, a professional masseuse, because the injuries that he must have suffered daily carrying this fucking movie on his shoulders.
Oh my God, Nicole.
By his charm.
Oh my gosh.
I hope that he will not suffer permanent damage to his back and shoulders.
Oh my gosh. He was so dignified.
So dignified amongst a pile of trash.
Adam Sandler was like, can we just talk about, okay,
yes.
So first
I do want to spend a moment to talk about it, because this is a podcast about Andy Samberg, and it is if this movie taught me nothing else, it's that Andy Samberg is charming and lovely in any situation.
Yes.
So please continue, Sarah.
Yeah, so we touched on the pedophilia at the beginning, which was gratuitous. It was just
there is a scene where they are straight up fucking.
Yeah.
In an auditorium.
Now, they didn't show it, so like they were careful not to have the actual 12-year-old actor and the adult actress kissing or touching. Like, I'm so glad that they went to the other room. But no, of course not. The fact that it was implied, just awful, and it
was supposed to be funny.
It was supposed to be funny, exactly,
and cool.
Yeah, and the entire crowd erupted in cheers, applause, when they saw that he had sex with her, and I'm just like, is this a dream sequence? This can't be real.
I knew we were in trouble after this opening flashback. I turned to Chris and I was like, if you want to leave right now,
buckle up,
because this movie is not getting any better from here. I have a feeling, and it did not.
Yeah. So, not Andy. Adam Sandler plays the adult.
He's 12 years older than his son.
Yeah.
And
his voice. What's with this fucking voice?
Oh, you mean the Boston accent? This movie owes the city of Boston an apology, a written apology. It was a Boston act. I assume this takes place in Boston.
I know it was Boston, but it just sounded so like a character on SNL. It didn't sound like a real person. It sounded like the entire time he was doing a shtick on SNL.
This whole movie was a very long SNL sketch that I did not ask for.
No.
And I probably would have left the room. Were I watching that sketch, I would have left the room after the pedophilia. I would have spent far longer than usual making a sandwich. And then I would have returned when the sketch was over.
How long did it take you to watch this?
I watched it last night and I was already in bed, so I really didn't have a lot of choices.
Yeah, it took me a long time to get through this.
How long?
I kept on having it. I watched a little bit last night, and then I got up this morning and I watched some, and then I had to take a break, and then I watched some more. I don't know. It took me way too long to watch this movie because I was like, okay.
So you had to live with this all day.
Yes.
Okay. So the pedophilia, we discussed that. I do want to talk about Andy Samberg's character.
Yes.
Because The only times I felt any positive feelings in my body was when he was on screen.
Yes. I thought you were going to say shirtless, but yes.
Oh, actually, so Sarah, I don't know if now's a good time to bring this up so we can inject a little positivity here, but I had not planned on writing this, but I think I might do this for every movie we watch. It was more of like a survival instinct, I think, that caused me to do this, but I wrote down what I found to be the thirstiest moments from this movie for me.
Oh, okay.
So I've got
Please.
three thirsty moments.
Please.
Moments of thirst.
I can't wait to hear it.
For number one, my moment of thirst. Andy Samberg in Suits.
In Suits.
He was wearing a lot of suits.
Yes.
He was wearing a lot of button-up shirts. Maybe it's because I'm used to seeing him on Brooklyn Nine-Nine where he's like wearing his cop outfit, or maybe it's because I just saw him in Palm Springs where he was basically wearing boxer shorts or trunks for the
Hawaiian
entire movie.
shirts. Yeah.
But the nice button-up suit-wearing Andy Samberg, I like it.
Yeah.
I
agree.
It was a plus. My number two moment of thirst, as you've already mentioned, Andy in the shower.
In his trunks.
In his trunks. They couldn't give us a butt. That's okay. Nope. Maybe that's in his contract.
I want his butt.
I know. After everything this movie did to us, it couldn't give us that. I don't know. Maybe he's like a no, I don't show my butt kind of guy. If so, I respect it. But we did get the top. Sarah's like, I do not stand for this. This movie.
Top half.
Me. They gave us the top half. And I was like, first they just showed him sort of like in silhouette in the shower. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I sat up. Like I'm in bed. Yeah. I'm laying down, just trying to do some deep breathing to get through this movie. Right. And he's in the shower and there's a silhouette. And then I sat up. Like my body came back to life.
What did Chris do?
I think he just puts up with my bullshit at this point. I'm like writing furiously in my notebook about the shower scene. Then we get him shirtless. They had to spoil it with a damn back tattoo.
Yeah, he turns around and it's like,
and he's got a New Kid on the Block tattoo, which isn't a bad joke. It's kind of
with the heads all warped because he got it when he was like what? How old did he say? 8?
He was in like 3rd grade.
3rd grade.
Oh, I know. There's like all the child abuse in this movie was very difficult for me to find humorous.
Also, like I'm sorry. This was skipping ahead. Keep going with the.
No, it's fine.
I guess
he's shirtless. We get that. The back tattoo. It's fine. They can't ruin his back for me, even with the dumb tattoo. They can't ruin that for me. And then lastly, this is skipping ahead. We can circle back to this. My last moment of thirst was right before the wedding. Andy Samberg staring off into the ocean. With a face of melancholy while wearing a tux.
Oh, so you like the melancholy looks?
I did like that. I liked this. I liked the brooding that was going on while the ocean breeze, just blew over him as he was wearing that tux. That was my third moment of thirst.
You know what's weird? I don't find suits and tuxes attractive.
You
like,
don't?
When I see them, I'm just like, yeah, I want them to take it off.
Like you just want them to be nude, or you just want them to be comfortable?
Comfortable, nude, both. I just suits and tuxes don't do it for me.
Okay. I guess it's because I don't spend a lot of time around a man in a suit. I think what I like is a man who isn't always in a suit wearing a suit. Because then it's like they put the suit on and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
I like this, more. It's like a present you want to unwrap. You know what I mean?
Yes. A present you want to unwrap. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah. I mean, I think guys, straight men sometimes feel the same way about us with outfits. Like they're like, oh, that's a cool outfit, but I would prefer you to be naked.
Get it off your body. Anyway, Sarah, those are my moments of thirst. If you have anything you can contribute to the list, I surprised you because we did not agree upon this, but I think I think from here on
mad
out,
at you.
I think from here on out, I'm gonna
Thirst.
I'm gonna write down I'm gonna write down my 3 moments of thirst from now on from every movie.
3 moments of thirst.
Yeah.
Interesting.
3 thirsty moments.
Nice. I will have to come up with my own thing or do that. I don't know. It's who knows with this pop podcast. We're just flying by the seat of our pants.
Flying by the seat of our pants. So Sarah, you had something on your list that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, well, you know, a lot of things. So, I know this is like doesn't seem like a big deal, and it's, I mean, as compared to everything else in the rest of this movie, it's not a big deal. But when the character Jamie, who is introduced as Han Solo Burgers, who goes by Todd P.
He goes by Todd
Peterson.
Isn't Todd Peterson a guy who like murdered his wife though?
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure. My true crime heart. I'm pretty sure. Look, if you're a Todd Peterson out there and you're like, it wasn't
Staircase.
Ooh, no.
No.
No. I think anyway. I don't know. Todd Peterson sounds like a guy that's murdered his wife, but
Staircase.
Oh, what? His name's not Todd, is it?
Michael
Michael
Peterson.
Yeah. But there's
Todd is the son. Okay, sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, in any case, yes, Han Solo Burger goes by Todd Peterson now, and he
changed his name.
Fiance's name is Jamie.
So this is my note. So, it's revealed that he has to take Xanax. He gets panic attacks. He wears he keeps a safe pair of underwear just in case, he needs to change.
Which isn't a terrible idea, to be honest.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't need to rub it so much publicly, but
yeah. So he has issues. He has emotional issues.
As he should.
He should. And she looks at him and she goes, "Just this once, don't be so weird."
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, what kind of fiance, you're going to marry this person for the rest of your life with them? That's not a nice thing to say. Just this once, don't be so weird.
The kind that has sex with her brother?
Oh, please don't skip ahead, Nicole. That is the bomb that we are going to drop.
You know what? I knew that was going to happen. The moment they introduced him, the minute he walked in the door, which, by the way, I think we should all take a moment of silence for Milo Ventimiglia.
Is that him?
Yes.
No.
We need to take a moment of silence for... I feel terrible that he, did he not read the script? Did anybody read the script before they signed on to it? Look...
That's him?
That's him!
My gosh. I didn't recognize him.
Another one of my thirsty crushes, by the way. He was...
Yes, you're right.
Utterly...
You're right.
He was revolting in this movie.
Because she got so excited when he was coming. And then they opened the door and she was like, "Ah!"
Oh,
and
I thought he was like a high school boyfriend at first. And then as soon as they introduced him as the brother, I was like, no, they're not fucking, are they? And then as the movie progressed, I was like, this is exactly the type of movie that would introduce that. And when it happened, I was like, I mean, I don't like it and I don't accept it, but this is the type of movie that will introduce this sort of thing. I mean,
the incest is the thing that was the thing that broke them up at the end. Like the big climactic stop the wedding. That is what
incest.
Exactly. Yeah. Who does that? I personally think that incest should not be used in film. I don't know. I don't know a case when it makes sense. It just
you ever
feels
watched Game of Thrones?
I haven't, but that seems gratuitous. Any kind of incest feels...
I don't think it should be forbidden from being used in films, but I think to use it in this way, in the same way that pedophilia is used, is irresponsible and gross and dumb.
Yes. Yes.
Up until then, though, honestly, I was like, Jamie, I kind of see where she's coming from. Like, I know that because of the movie, the way that this is, like, she's supposed to be such a bitch, but like, it's her wedding day.
Mm-hmm.
She's having a nice weekend with her family. And then this disgusting, beer swilling hobo enters their lives that she's never heard of before, and he's ruining her fucking weekend, and I kind of get it.
Oh, no. She's the one person who is like, who is the fuck is this guy?
Who is behaving normally. I mean, yeah, she is kind of mean. Like, they do everything they can to make us hate her. They make her seem frigid. They make her say things to him that are not nice about his, like, anxiety.
Yeah.
She's like yelling at him during the baseball tournament. Or the
Yeah,
baseball thing. It's not a tournament.
She
whatever
cheats
that is.
and she has incest.
They're
she cheats on with a different guy. And then she also sleeps with her brother. Like, why?
Because this movie hates
women.
women.
Yes.
This movie hates women. And men too. I think it hates everyone, but especially women.
Everyone.
It hates men, it hates women. It is racist. There are lots of moments of racism in this movie.
Shit.
This movie is foul in a way that
it also is fattest. It has fat jokes too.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yes.
Lots of fat jokes.
Yes. I think the only thing that this movie seems to play in a positive light is the fact that older women can still be sexually active and interesting.
Susan Sarandon. Scene in the
I was talking about the
prison.
grandma, but
the grandma. No,
I was
I'm
talking
sorry.
about grandma, but yes.
Also grandma.
Yeah.
Also,
can we talk? What is Oscar winner James Caan and Oscar winner Susan Sarandon doing in this movie? How much were they paid to be in this movie?
I don't know, but a lot.
Who did they owe a favor to?
Do you think that Susan Sarandon's daughter was like, "Hey, mom, I have this movie"?
I think they came as a set.
Okay.
I think probably. I don't know. Did everybody come and sign in? Did everyone sign on to this movie because they were like, "Oh, Susan Sarandon and James Caan are in this"? Like, is that how they got everybody else?
I think. Well, it wasn't Adam Sandler's production company was the one who. So it was him who was the initial instigator, and everyone just Will Forte, Anna Gasteyer, Rachel Dratch.
Well, they're all buddies. Will Forte doing an acceptable job in this movie, doing his best. I have a question. Were the strip club scenes filmed at the Claremont Lounge? Or inspired by the Claremont Lounge?
I haven't been to the Claremont Lounge, so I have no idea.
There are very old strippers there that crash beer cans with their tits, right?
Yes.
Okay, look, here's something else I want to talk about. How dare this movie introduce a woman at the strip club who has a couple shots with Andy Samberg, and they introduce this like woman who's nice to him for a second, and then she's like, then they are like at the end of the movie, it's like, oh, now she's his girlfriend, and it's like, fuck off. Fuck off with that lazy character development. How dare you?
Yeah. That was bad. Also, like, I hate how there's so many movies in strip clubs. Like, why is it a set piece that is used in, like, it feels like 80% of all films and TV shows are set in a strip club at some point. I'm serious.
I mean, you're not wrong. I think it's because I think that this movie is very juvenile.
Yes.
And I think a strip club in this movie is meant to be a shortcut to two things. One, to show that Donnie is, well, we haven't talked too much about Donnie, but like after he becomes a super, like basically a early 90s, 80s reality TV star, because of his molestation.
Mhm.
Surprise, surprise, as an adult, he's a total loser. He drinks all day,
Mhm.
like literally all the time. Like I did find a few chuckles
Like when he was
at
on
the
the
creative
roof.
places where, yes, when he pulled the beer bottle out of the cuff of his pants, I did chuckle a bit.
I thought of you during that moment. I was like, what would Nicole think of this joke?
I did laugh a little. I'm not gonna lie. Oh God, where was I going with this? Oh, I think the strip club is meant to be like, oh, he's a huge loser, but also all the strippers are really nice and he's got friends there and like maybe he's not such a bad guy. Like I think that was the whole point
But
of
also the scene at their bachelor party, it was
Mhm.
just debauchery. Like it was just
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
it. Yeah.
I didn't care for it.
It was exactly what I would expect from this film.
And
And
the
I use the
spa
term film very, very loosely.
and how before that scene, there's the spa scene, you know,
Mhm.
where they go to a spa and like that's what Will Forte's character planned. And then it ends
Which
with
sounded very nice to me, honestly.
yeah, and then it ended with on a gas there yelling at Adam Sandler's character and then saying, "And I will fuck you long and hard," or like, "I want to," you know. And I was just like, "No."
Again, nothing to me. This is the other thing about this movie is not only was it disgusting, but it was completely predictable. Like I was not surprised by anything
No.
that they did in this movie. I was grossed out by
Yeah.
it. I was surprised. They only managed to surprise me in the opening moments when the teacher
Yes.
accepted his advances.
Yes.
And after that, I was like, I know exactly what kind of movie I'm dealing with, and I was not wrong.
I was surprised by that. I was also surprised by the incest. I was genuinely surprised.
I was not surprised by that. I have a question for you.
Okay.
Is there too much Vanilla Ice in this movie or not enough?
Ooh, man. I'm going to say too much.
Too much. State your case.
He was in a lot of scenes and I didn't know. I feel like I've seen a lot of comedy films where they take like a has-been. I hate that word, has-been, but like
Vanilla
person,
Ice definitely fits into that category.
a star who used to be a star who has kind of like you don't hear about much anymore, and they have them as like a character who like knows the main character.
Did you know who Todd Bridges was when he appeared at that chicken stand? Remember when Vanilla Ice like leaves his chicken stand work and there's a guy back there who's like, "Hey, you can have him back here." Do you know who Todd Bridges is?
No.
Did you? So he is a child star from Different Strokes.
Yes. What you talking about, Willis? Is that?
Well, that's the other kid. Todd Bridges played his older brother.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Gary Coleman. I think passed away a while
That's
ago.
what I thought. I thought he died.
Well, Todd Bridges is still alive.
I did watch that show when I was a kid.
Okay.
I liked that show a lot. Yeah. Yeah, I thought that might have been someone from that show.
But you were saying there was a lot of Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, and I don't know why. Like, why was he there? He didn't do anything.
It felt like. Well, I guess the point was that Donnie used to be a big deal and had best friends like Vanilla Ice. And then him and Vanilla Ice both became has-beens, which isn't a terrible plot point. I did kind of enjoy I'll tell you what, there were like very few moments that I enjoyed. And I do think that Adam Sandler and Andy Samberg had moments where they were good together. And maybe it was because Andy Samberg is so fucking charming. But Adam Sandler did somehow, and I do think he can be funny. And I have seen him. I didn't see Uncut Gems, but God, what's that movie? The one where he has the anger issues. Fuck. It's kind of no, it's not anger management. It's Punch Drunk Love. He was very good in Punch Drunk Love. So it's not like I hate Adam Sandler. I just don't. This movie is like it's aggressively terrible. But there were moments where I was like, oh, Adam Sandler is somehow likable despite this awful character that he's playing.
Andy Samberg brought out the best in him.
Yeah. When they were together, I kind of enjoyed their scenes
It was
together.
kind of cute, actually.
I liked the hug. I liked the idea that I wished, you know what I wished? If this movie had been about like an estranged, like two estranged brothers, like I could have accepted that. I would have been a little more amenable to that. And I understand that they were trying to be different by making it about this kid who like slept with his teacher, but it was just like I couldn't get past it, you know?
Yeah.
And two brothers, I think I could have enjoyed that movie, you know?
I did
In
like
parts.
how much Adam Sandler's character loved and admired his son.
Yeah, me too. I did like that.
It was sweet. It was sweet, yeah.
I liked the scene where he teaches Todd how to ride a bike.
Yeah.
I thought that was sweet and cute.
Yeah.
And I liked how he like didn't there was never really a moment where he seriously considered making him go down to the jail, and it kind of happened by accident.
Yeah.
That was all good. Like I think their relationship, there were parts of it that I liked, but overall I just
Yeah.
oy vey.
Yeah.
It was like we stopped the movie halfway through and I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, there's an hour left. Chris is like, when did we start watching this? And I was like, it feels like an eternity ago. And yet it's only been an hour. Yeah.
So what year was the WhatsApp thing happening?
I feel like it was the 90s. Wasn't it the 90s?
Yeah.
I didn't like it then and I don't like it now.
No. And like there was even a line that said, "Is that back?"
It doesn't need to be. There were a lot of was this movie written in the 90s? Actually,
Maybe.
I'll tell you what. I looked it up. I looked up some hot facts about this movie. And this movie, have you ever heard of The Blacklist?
Yeah.
Not the show The Blacklist.
The 1950s Blacklist?
Oh, no, not that Blacklist. There is a list that goes around every year in Hollywood of scripts that are unproduced that everyone loves that wishes would get picked up.
Oh, okay.
According to IMDb, and look, take that as you will. According to IMDb, this movie was on the Hollywood Blacklist. The script was on the Hollywood Blacklist in 2009. Now, the movie was made in 2012. Also, Adam Sandler and several other people did rewrites of this movie, so I don't know in what state it was before they got to it. And the guy who directed it also did rewrites on it. I don't know his name and I don't care, so I didn't write it down.
Yeah, I had to look up who wrote this movie because I was like,
who was it? Who the fuck
did this?
Was it? Sarah, do you have anything else on your list that you are dying to talk about?
I did really enjoy the baseball game.
Oh, okay.
Where everyone could catch the ball and throw the ball, even young kids, old people, like everyone, and then Todd could not.
Poor Todd.
I don't know why. The way it was shot, how everyone caught the ball, like, and the woman. I mean, like, yes, it was
the one who caught it with her tits.
I didn't care for that, but
I'm exhausted. Sorry, please keep going. I'm just exhausted with this kind of shit.
Okay, so this is me trying to enjoy what I can from this movie, and
You're just trying to take a shred of happiness away from this movie.
And I was like, okay, it's amusing that everyone can catch the ball except for Todd. I don't know. Like,
no, I get it.
It was.
I also feel like if this movie, like if toxic masculinity was a person and a screenwriter, that toxic masculinity would have written this movie.
Dr. Toxic Masculinity.
Dr. Toxic Masculinity, PhD, DDS, MD. Anything else to say about this movie, Sarah?
Okay, so we touched on it, but the grandma, like how he like masturbated to her, one night, and like
They
it
really
had
got a lot of mileage out of those tissue jokes.
an old picture, and then a recent picture. So a picture when she was young, and then a picture when she was the current age she was. And I don't know why, but it like I did like that he was attracted to her as an old woman. I know it's supposed to be,
Vanilla
creepy.
Ice had sex with her too.
Oh,
well,
like
I mean, like
in the movie
after the yeah, no. I mean, I don't know what they did on their off time, but yes, during the movie, because he's wearing her bathing suit after when they wake up in the morning after Todd has barfed and jizzed all over the wedding dress. This is the kind of movie that we watched.
And Jamie licked the jizz to make sure that it was Todd's jizz.
We know what it is. Like we've all seen jizz. We know what it looks like.
But also just the taste changes depending on what they eat.
So you're saying because he ate the chicken nuggets, which he doesn't eat chicken nuggets anymore, that if she tasted his jizz, she wouldn't recognize it because of the chicken nuggets? That is a fair point. That is a scientific point, and I will take it. She's like, whose jizz is this? It tastes like Kentucky Fried Chicken.
No, there's a whole science to like how to make your jizz taste sweet versus versus gross. What to eat, which I don't.
Which I would rather watch a documentary about that than watch this movie again. I would watch a 2-hour documentary about the different flavors of jizz before I would watch this movie ever again.
Let's make that movie. No, I'm just kidding. kidding.
No, I don't think I want to. Again, listen, guys. Andy Samberg pulled off a Herculean feat.
Yes.
Make no mistake about it. He made the scenes that he was in as pleasant as they could be.
Pleasant. That's a good word.
Enjoyable at times, even.
Yeah.
I smiled several times when he was on screen. He was as adorable and charming as ever. And I wanted to cross over into the movie and take him by the hand and just rescue him from this fucking movie.
But also he was wholesome. Like his character was wholesome. And I did appreciate that.
Yes.
Because his dad was so unwholesome.
Yes. Yeah. Which I think was the whole shtick. Wholesome son, wholesome, anxious son, and disgusting, pervy dad.
And yet everyone loved the dad.
I think you had to. Like, I think they had to write it that way. Because if everybody hated him right off the bat,
he wouldn't have been allowed to stay.
And it would have, like, because obviously we don't, I didn't like him very much. You had to have that. He had to have the other characters' approval, just narratively, I think.
Yeah.
And then, of course, at the end, Todd fully embraces his burger and goes full Han Solo.
Full Han Solo, yeah. No, he's told at the wedding before he says "I do" about the incest.
Mm-hmm.
I did enjoy his reaction to that. I think he did a really good job with that.
He played that very well. Yes.
Yeah,
he played that very well. He's
How
great.
would you react?
How would I react to my wife telling me that she was sleeping with her brother? I think I would have just like silently walked away.
Yeah.
I think I would have just silently, which is how I felt.
You silent? I'm just kidding.
No, you're right. I would have, there would have been a lot of screaming. That's the truth. The truth is there would have been a lot of screaming and maybe some chair throwing. I don't know. I would have been very angry and grossed out.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
We really got baptized by fire coming into this episode, did we not?
Yes, man.
Guys, we are committed to watching every one of the films in these actors' filmography, whether we like it or not. And we will tell you honestly how we feel. And my love for Andy Samberg has not wavered. If anything,
it's not.
If anything,
it's grown deeper.
It's stronger. Knowing that he was able to withstand this fucking monstrosity and do the best that he could with the material that he was given.
Yeah. No, he did a great job, and yeah. I don't have much to say about it. I just
Yeah,
like
that's all I got. I got nothing else. I think Sarah, on a recommendation scale, how many swim trunks would you give this movie out of 5 swim trunks?
is Andy Samberg wearing the swim trunks?
Yes, obviously.
Well, I just give one just to see him in the swim trunks.
I agree. 1 swim trunk is all we're going to get out of this movie. So, listen, fans, if you've come to the end of all the movies and content that Andy has created and you're just dying for something new, maybe consider watching this trashy. But if I were you, I would avoid it and just watch Palm Springs again.
Yes.
As you would imagine, I'm normally up for pretty much anything in the bedroom, but I can't tell if what happened was weird or sexy.
How about some Adam or Andy? Are we ready for some trivia?
Yes. And today's trivia is Adam or Andy. Adam Sandler.
No!
Or Andy.
How dare you? How dare you? You're brilliant.
Adam is in this.
You're
Okay.
brilliant. I love it and hate it and love it.
Just so you know, both Andy Samberg and Adam Sandler are Jewish. They went to NYU's Tisch School of the Arts.
Oh, okay. Damn.
They both were on SNL.
For real, or are we just making that up like we did last time?
No, I'm for real. No, I looked it up a lot. Several sources. They both are comedians, musicians, and writers, and were on SNL.
Yes.
So they have a lot in common, actually.
Yeah.
So I have 2 facts each. I'll do 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay.
Okay. All right.
His real first name is David. He changed his name at age 5.
Okay.
Neil Diamond has covered one of his comedy songs. Who is it?
Okay. Have we ever talked about how much I love Neil Diamond?
Yes. I mean, not on this podcast, but with me. Yes.
I'm obsessed with Neil Diamond. I'm going to say Neil Diamond covered one of Adam Sandler's songs. That seems like a pretty easy choice, which I guess means that Andy changed his name from David to Andy.
So his full name is David A.J. Samberg.
Oh, wow.
So
that's
he
kind
changed
of
it to
hot.
Andy when he was 5. Yeah.
That's kind of hot.
Yeah.
I kind of dig it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Suffered from severe stage fright at the beginning of his career. Lives in Charlie Chaplin's house known as Mooncrest.
Oof. That's a toughie. I'm going to flip-flop those. I guess I'm going to say Adam Sandler had stage fright and Andy Samberg lives in Charlie Chaplin's house.
Correct.
Oh my God. I feel so excited.
You got both of them. You did
I
it.
totally guessed. Wow. I feel really accomplished. Thanks.
You should. Yes.
Those
were hard because there's no, I don't know. I didn't know that Andy Samberg lives in Charlie Chaplin's house. How cool is that?
Yeah. I wonder if
Really
he
cool.
do you think he encounters his ghost from time to time? Like,
I hope
just
so.
Walking around.
Oh, you look awesome. Come the fuck upstairs.
Okay.
But wait, I have to warn you about something.
What?
If you come up here, I'm gonna tie you to my bed and keep you for at least 3 days. I'm just in that kind of mood.
So I guess it's time to spin the wheel.
Yeah.
All right. I am just gonna ask that the wheel be kind to us after what we went through this week.
Please.
So we're gonna be watching another film. We just watched Andy Samberg film, right? That's My Boy. We just watched Andy Samberg.
I'm sorry. Yes, Andy Samberg. I'm sorry.
You've blocked it out of your memory already. Your brain is like, I don't have to think about this movie anymore. So now we're going to spin a wheel with 6 Adam Driver films on it. So the next film will be an Adam Driver film, and we're going to spin the wheel to find out which one it is. So let me pull up the wheel. Oh, it erased the things I put in there. So, oh wait, no, it didn't. There we go. Oh, what happened? Oh,
What
there we
happened?
go. I got it. All right. I'm going to share the screen so you can see, Sarah.
Okay.
All right. Can you see it? The wheel?
Take it.
Okay. I'm going to spin it. Here we go. What's it going to be? Oh, Marriage Story. Oh my God. I actually
You
haven't
have
seen
to
that.
watch it.
I have to watch it. No, I mean, I wanted to watch it, but also I was like, it seems really sad. And so this is actually one of the few Adam Driver movies that I haven't seen,
Wow.
but you've seen it.
Yes. Oh gosh, I have to watch this again.
So you have to put yourself through this again.
Oh.
But ask yourself, which is worse, watching Marriage Story again or watching That's My Boy again?
Well, That's My Boy wasn't. It was. You're right. You're right. They're both emotionally difficult to get through.
But for different reasons.
Yes.
So there you have it, listeners. We'll be watching Marriage Story. This episode will become the episode that you're currently listening to, which you already know because you're listening to it. This episode is going to be coming out on September 9th, which means the Marriage Story episode will be coming out on September 23rd. So every other week, you will get a new episode from Sarah and I where we will be watching a different Andy Samberg or Adam Driver movie, and we will be switching back and forth.
Yes.
Wow, we did it, Sarah. We really did it. Before we go, I wanted to plug a few things. Mainly the social meds for this podcast. So first of all, we would love to chat with you. We'd love to share memes and photos and news and fun stuff over the internet with you. We'd love to hear what if you watched this monstrosity, what did you think of it? Did you like this movie? Did we get it completely wrong?
Did you like listening to us complain, or did you wish that we had said more nice things?
So please follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Adam and Andy Podcast, or you can follow us on Twitter at Adam Andy Pod. Also, Sarah, we're on a bunch of podcast apps now.
Ooh.
We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Stitcher. And most recently, iHeartRadio.
Oh.
So we're on like lots of things, guys. So go subscribe to the show if you liked this episode, or just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. Because we want you to come back and join us for Marriage Story, which we'll be talking about in 2 weeks. And I'll be giving you my thirstiest moments from this super sad movie we're about to watch.
There are some thirsty moments for sure.
Sarah, my heart fluttered a little bit when you said that.
I can already picture a few of them, yes. Okay.
Okay, Sarah, I want you to write down your thirsty moments.
Okay.
And you write down 3 and I'll write down 3.
Okay. We'll see if they're the same ones.
And then we'll know that we're soulmates.
Yes.